So hello, I'm Roman. I'm the host for tonight. I'm here with Tudor, Smile, and Ramit. See that title? Yeah? Okay. And today we are actually talking about the exchange festivals between Europe and the Middle East. The quick introduction was, so yeah, I'm Roland. I work at IFSA. IFSA is one of the leading free zones here in the UAE. IFSA is not just licenses and visas, but they have like a whole ecosystem of companies. And my task is to build companies abroad, from academies to recruitment, and of course that's why I'm sitting here. We also have our in-house events in a company, which mostly serves our partners with over 60,000 partners and clients. But lately we also started to venture outside of our VP system. That's a very, very interesting market because that's also my background, where I'm coming from. And very excited to talk to these two gentlemen tonight. And quick introduction, maybe start with you, Tudor.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so very nice to meet you. Thanks for having me here. My name is Tudor and I'm part of Antwerp Festival since 2019 and part of Antwerp Dubai since 4 months ago when I moved over here in Dubai. We wanted to develop our partnership department very well over here because it's such a huge potential, and that's the reason that I came over here to build up a team and to have Antwerp Festival Dubai bigger, better, and to be a name in the Middle East and in the whole world. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Or that we have to share a microphone. Hi everyone, my name is Sven from Bibo, the Turnkey project. I'm the head of client success. We are a company that is built around 2 business units. One side of the business is spatial experiences and the other side is event production. Spatial experience is the team of people delivering permanent installations mainly, so museums, experience centers, expo pavilions, very hot topic currently. And event production, well, I guess it's in the name, that is we are delivering events, we are doing corporate events, we are involved in a lot of award ceremonies and so on and so on and so on. We are not hosting festivals like you guys, we are more on the delivery side. You would probably call us a supplier, we consider ourselves as a partner. It's a bit of a difference. We've got 250 team members, we've got our main head office here in Dubai, we've got offices in Riyadh, Jeddah, in Germany, we've got Munich and Berlin, and for very obvious reasons, Osaka is another office that we have since a few months.
And you just came back to Riyadh, right?
I came back from Osaka on the weekend, yes, I'm going to be in Riyadh next week.
Thank you for the introduction, both of you. My name is Amitabh Shahani. I'm actually ex-Orva, and I've seen some friendly faces out here. I've been in the events industry for over 20 years, of course, different departments and specialties. I left exhibitions to start my own company, to start a wellness festival called Rise, which is to connect all of us on various levels, but definitely the soul, because I think that's what the world kind of needs right now. Less ego, more soul. And to show people that self-discovery is a lot of fun. It's not boring as we think, and that we try to avoid. So, combining my expertise from trade shows and exhibitions and events, and doing concerts, I discovered Rise, and now I'm here, being a public speaker as well, so that's my journey. So yes, thank you.
Very well, thank you so much for the introduction, gentlemen. We just straight away jump into the first question for all of you. That's okay. So what drew you to basically explore these cross-border opportunities between Middle East and European festivals? Let's start with you.
So I mean, Antwerp Festival in Romania already, it's a big name worldwide. It's the 3rd biggest festival in the world. We know very well the European market. We know very well everything in terms of like events, industry, music industry, and since 2015, when we started with Unsold Festival, this year we will have our 10th anniversary edition in Romania, and we will invest a lot of money in terms of production, artists, because it's our birthday. Since 2015, we wanted to be a global name in terms of like entertainment and music industry, in terms of in the music industry domain. So it was for us when the pandemic came, because we wanted to go outside and to go into other markets, get outside Romania, like in 2019. But then the pandemic came, and I think everyone needed to secure their businesses locally and to spend the money carefully. And at that time, we analyzed the market. We were like, okay, where do we want to go next? And we analyzed the Middle East market, and we saw that we saw a synergy. We saw a synergy because when the pandemic was in worldwide, we secure our business, but we secure also our people. We had all the staff at Unsold Festival working. We did CSR campaigns. We did a lot of things with our government, sustaining like hospitals and so on and so on. And we saw a similar thing over here in Middle East, how the local authorities over here are trying to protect their citizens, but also we saw some great thing that how during that time they are trying to invest and to bring new opportunities, new business opportunities into this market. And at that time we saw the opportunity, and we were like, okay, we want to be part of that journey, and we want to be from the scratch. And because in the UAE, I'm talking about UAE over here, the people are used over here to have events like one-day events, like they have like a DJ coming in and out, having his set for 2 hours, he's leaving. But they didn't have a big festival, a mega festival like Untold, it's the mega festival of UAE. And we saw the opportunity, and we did our homework, and come on, you have to buy the infrastructure, you have tourists, you have connections, you have everything. So it was just a proper idea and the synergy to come over here to bring the know-how from Europe market, but to adapt the know-how from Europe, to adapt to local market, to the Middle East market. Like what we said at that time, we didn't want to copy-paste Untold, we wanted to co-create something over here. So yeah, we did our homework, and we are happy that we are the first mega festival in UAE.
Yeah, we are looking forward to come and to it. And you have also, I can really feel the passion. And I can tell you have been here not for a long time, you're very fresh to Dubai.
Yes, I moved in February. Actually, we were joking. Last year we had a lot of meetings coming in and out from Romania, because we have I'm doing sales, I'm doing partnerships. So if you are asking me technical things, maybe I will be not very good in my answers. But I had a lot of meetings over here last year, because last year we had our first edition of Untold Dubai in Expo. This year we will have the second edition in November, from 6th to 9th of November in Dubai Park and Resort. We changed the location. It's a great location over there. So I was in September in a hotel room, and I thought to myself after a meeting, I will move to Dubai. And in January, I talked to the founder of Untold Festival, and I said, I want to move to Dubai. And he was, can you do it tomorrow, please? And in February, I came over here and started my journey over here and the partnerships. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Sven, over to you.
That was a long answer.
That was a very long answer.
I feel like mine is going to take 10% of your time.
Take the 20s, take your passion.
Oh, fine.
That's true. That's true. No, look, I'm not delivering festivals across borders or between the East and West or whatever. But something we are doing is we deliver projects between the East and West, and we sometimes, or quite often, recently, we act as a translator between the markets. So for us, having branches or offices in Germany and in the Middle East, it kind of happens naturally that your agency clients, for example, from Germany approach you and go like, we have an upcoming event in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in Riyadh, wherever. So that is something where we didn't have to do a lot of business development. It just happened for us naturally. I guess that is my answer. Short but sweet.
That's very German, straight to the point.
Well, thank you again for sharing that. I'd like to actually say, based on what Tudor mentioned, you mentioned nothing to do with copy paste, and I think that's a brilliant way to do things whenever we move to a new country, right, or new culture. It's not about invasion; it's about integration, and that's exactly what actually got us to connect with the European market, because it's more about heritage meeting innovation. So the best thing is to co-create, collaborate, rather than compete, and I think that's the mindset that connected us. Because exhibitions started from Germany. It's 700 years ago, and that's what I learned from Messe Frankfurt. So you get the wisdom from them, but then you use the innovation to still stick to the roots, and I think that's how we co-create together. So that's my point.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Actually, my next question was for you, but you kind of already answered it. But I still want to know, why did you pick exactly Dubai for your festival and not, let's say, any other city or any other country in the region?
So, like I mentioned, we are in our hero journey to be a global brand in terms of music industry, and we saw that Dubai has everything that we need. Has the tourists. You have over here all the tourists. Like, I know, if you are from Argentina and you want to go into a vacation, I think Dubai will be in top 5 UAE. It will be in top 5 countries that you want to visit. So that means new community for us, new public for us that will recognize Untold. And from here, it's a business strategy, because you have mix and match. You have those guys over here that are coming to see Untold Dubai, and they will see, okay, from where it's Untold? It's from Romania. They will come also to Romania. So they will bring their families, friends into Romania as well. So you have the tourists, you have the infrastructure, like I mentioned. You have all of these connections with the airport, like back in Romania, in Cluj, where it's Untold, it's the second largest city in Romania. You have an airport that is connected to, 30 cities. You cannot compare what you have over here. And then, I think it's very important to mention, you have the support of the local authorities over here. They are investing a lot of time, a lot of finance, a lot of, they want to grow the entertainment industry in UAE. And since we came over here, since we start our discussions over here, they are fully supportive. They are alongside us, because at the end of the time it's their business card as well. So yeah, I think we saw all the ingredients over here, but mostly the multiculturality and the tourist part and the infrastructure.
You can see Dubai is climbing the rankings of most visited cities year on year. So it only makes sense. Good. Thank you so much. Sven, quick point for you.
Yes, quick answer, bro. Penis.
I hope so. No. And journey from Neumann und Müller to Biwonder. So what was decision? So the moment when you decided, okay, we have to do that.
I think, long story short, maybe let's start with a bit of context. We were part of the Neumann and Müller group until 2.5 years ago. This was when we decided to start a management buyout and start that spin-off that became Biwonder, which is not connected to the former mothership anymore. I think the main reason to make that decision was that we realized if you really want to grow from good to a really better, amazing company in the Middle East, you need to be fast. You need to be able to make decisions on the go. And I'm not talking about small decisions or even big decisions on a project basis, but massive decisions that might affect your investments, that might affect maybe the future strategy where your company is headed, whatever. And we figured that we had to create a company that is locally managed in order to make these decisions as quick as possible. And I think it was great that we were able to do that. We are still kind of friendly, connected to Norman & Miller. We are friends with them. But we don't share any resources anymore, any equipment anymore. There's no investments back and forth of it. So we are a separate company. What we bought out from the former mothership was the event production team in the Middle East and the spatial experience worldwide. So that's why we're doing permanent installations in Europe. We are focusing with events on the Middle East and worldwide, Expo Center too. And yeah, I think since then we grew a lot because we are really able to focus on the local market with offices here in Jeddah, in Riyadh. We have people on ground that really understand the market, because I think coming from abroad, people often think that it's one market, the Middle East, right? But I figured that the UAE market is completely different to the Saudi market, for example. It's a different market, it's a different mindset, it's different deadlines, to be honest, quite often. That's also a good topic. So yeah, we grew a lot in that time frame of 2.5 years. And I think what also changed is kind of the, I think you call it brand identity of our team members, because these guys that used to work for us before, you would never have been able, a lot of our technicians, warehouse staff, for example, would never have been able to get a visa to Germany and see the mothership. So they struggle to really identify themselves with Norman & Miller, which is now completely different because we are a local company. That was a long answer, relative I know.
For you, yes, but thank you.
Sorry.
Wonderful. No, thank you.
In the microphone that too. Go put it here.
Amit, you've been working many years with Massive 100.
For too long.
Too long. Yeah, we were talking about this before. I also had some experiences with them, always very good ones. But what have you learned from those long years working with the Massive? What did you take from those experiences over here?
So it's funny, I pretty much grew up in this industry, and Messe Frankfurt was my first role. And what I've learned about the Germans, as they say, is that precision always beats persuasion with the Germans. Second thing is, beer will find you whether you like it or not. Because I was young and of course had a good time in Germany. I have many stories to share. But if something is wrong, the Germans will tell you. They don't play about. So you always know to the point. They don't like to be shut about a lot of things. And of course, planning goes a long way. That's where we learn to plan our exhibitions. Long-term planning, plan for 5 years in advance before you even think about launching or thinking about the name of the event. So yeah, those were some of the key takeaways that I've learned from the journeys, of course, with regards to running events. And Messe Frankfurt will always be home. So, yes.
And if you, let's say, try to balance and maintain the identity with what you have done in the past, how do you work with, let's say, regulations in EU markets? So you have the German experience, you come over here,
Yeah.
it's completely new. What do you do?
Well, again, I was born and raised in Dubai. I did 2 events in Germany and of course work with them. And I think there it's a bit more streamlined. And UAE, of course, a new country, has learned a lot, but they had a very short time frame to learn. And they did a great job at the innovation and learning. Because even when I was working in Dubai, when I used to go to Germany, we would take best practices from there and replicate them to fit the region.
Yeah.
Of course, the way business is done in Germany is very different to how business is done here. Here, 80% of the conversation is about getting to know the person, right? 20% of it is work. There, it's a bit different. They have their own methods and their own ways to work. But, they're very open to learning new things. And I think that's what we're about. Learning from each other, taking best practices and see what works. Now, what I'd say is, things can get done a lot faster in Dubai than they can in Germany because of the structure and the rules, and because they've been following a methodology for so long.
And the bureaucracy.
And the bureaucracy. And Dubai, and the way it's like, it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
Yes.
So yes, that was really well I did. Okay.
Thank you so much. Actually, my next question is for you, Sven. When you spoke about, let's say, your new company, only, let's say, 2.5 years here, even so, what type of new business models did you basically implement when merging, let's say, from a Western or Eastern operation?
It's a tricky question to this. I don't really see new business models. I mean, we talk about a lot about collaboration between the East and West.
Yeah.
So something I've mentioned earlier, to be that translator between the East and West, is something we feel very comfortable with because we speak both languages, so to speak. So we can easily moderate between Central Europe and the Middle East. And I find myself very often in situations where you have a European, call it German client, with amazing creative concept, and then we are the ones translating that into the sometimes rough reality of, well, setting up an event here, which is quite difficult sometimes. So yeah, being that moderated in between is something that we do very often, and we also see a lot of, means a thing now, I think a lot of European companies, agencies, creative agencies have now discovered the Middle East as a place that's hot, a place where you really want to be. Currently Saudi even a bit more than Dubai, I think. But that comes with a lot of, I think you need a lot of cultural understanding to be really successful. I've seen pictures of European creative agencies pitching to the Abu Dhabi government, and in their renders, everybody in the audience was very Saudi attire, not the UAE attire, which is terrible. You can't do that. So you need really someone who understands the local market. This is a bit like, I don't know, pitching a creative concept in Germany and everyone in the audience on your render would wear a kilt. You would never do that. So I think if that could be considered a business model, then yes, the moderator between the two worlds is something that we and I personally feel extremely confident with.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You just said it, like working with local partners in new markets. When you come here with your new concept, let's say your new festival, what factors do you take into consideration when selecting partners you work with, and what red flags would you, of course, always consider and raise when starting a new business collaboration partner?
So I mean, in our tour festival, we have a policy, let's say like this, like a Bible. We want to secure strategic partnerships. So that means that we are not looking for, I know, like transactional partnerships that are happening one time and that's it. And whenever we are talking with a potential partner, let's say like this, when we are talking in terms of like commercial partners, yes, like we have a commercial partner that wants to be part of Untold story. We are talking to him like we are putting like this at the table. What are your objectives? We are asking him, what are your objectives? Because we need to see if Untold Festival can be a proper fit for you in terms of your objectives, your brand awareness with your product. If you are aiming to launch a new product and you are aiming to launch that new product inside the festival, then we create a pre-festival campaign that will be, I know, like it will be like we do like a, let's say like this, like a timeline, like a calendar. So it's important for your brand to be inside that Soul Festival in those 4 days, because you have 80,000 unique visitors per day that will engage with the product. But it's also important to use those IP rights that Untold give to you and to do a proper campaign. And that's the reason that we are looking to have strategic partnerships, because maybe not from the very first year the brand will be able to reach the entire potential in collaboration with Untold Festival. But we are doing the second year, the third year, and so on. This is the commercial part. But if you are looking at I know, like partners in terms of logistics, in terms of our automotive, as well. We are talking to all our potential partners that they have already experience in the market. They know the market. They know the culture over here. They know that they are what they are doing, because we don't want to be in that situation where you are over promising but under delivering. So we are very careful when we are selecting our partners.
Yeah. Of course, you have to. Thank you so much. Actually, Sven, I wanted to ask you, when it comes to regulatory logistics, so having set up, let's say, a relatively new company, what were like surprises that you probably have encountered along the way and you had to overcome?
Not as much as I was expecting.
That's good.
It would be a lie to say everything always goes smooth, I never get any challenges. Whoever says that is a lie. And something we had, when we had that before we came Wunder already, is, for example, a subunit that only takes care of what is it. So there are 3 people, that's a small team, doing nothing else but organizing logistics, which in the beginning I thought must be a very boring, easy job, but it's the backbone of a lot of things we are doing. So that was, we've delivered 2 years ago, for example, the FIFA Congress in Kigali in Rwanda. Without these guys, it wouldn't have been possible to get anything into Kigali, any equipment. So that's one topic that we really look at to avoid any logistics issues. But on the other hand, the people that a lot of the picture that a lot of European companies have in mind when they think about the Middle East is what happened 15, 20 years ago, where a Norman Marino, PRG, CT, whoever big company would deliver the project here, fly in all the equipment, fly in all the crew, and fly everything out again. These times are over since a long time. So there is enough equipment in the region. We try to have enough equipment and source as much equipment as possible locally. First, it helps your green footprint, but it's also most of the time more cost effective and more reliable. And also in terms of manpower, we have a lot of missions, we have a lot of operators, but you're never going to have enough. So even that has changed a lot in the Middle East, and also in not only in UAE but also in Saudi now. There's a really big pool of good freelancers that you can use that relocated from South Africa, from America, from the Far East, from Europe, from wherever. So that's also a way that we try to not only support the local market, but also be obviously more efficient.
Yeah. No, you literally just touched the topic that I wanted to ask next. So when it's totally fine. When building, let's say, a local team, you start, you have your idea. How do you maintain, let's say, your operational standards that you take from, let's say, the country you're coming from? But in the meantime, you also have to respect the cultural sensitivity. How do you do that?
Well, to be honest, whenever we're hiring talent, we need to make sure that 70% of what they are balances out, what I'm looking to hire. 30% can be taught. We can't really get someone who knows 100% anyway. And I think exhibitions and running events, it isn't rocket science. If someone has charisma, you get them on board. If they can talk a good game, you get them on board. If they're willing to put in the hours and they enjoy networking, you get them on board. And of course, you have to balance it with the culture to make sure that their working style may be different from others. But this is the thing about Dubai, as I said before, when I was born, it feels like a Benetton ad anyway. There's people from different cultures all around. So we pretty much speak Dubai language, right? Regardless of where you're from, we are so ingrained into the culture, and anyone that comes to Dubai is lured in and they never want to leave. So be careful, guys. Whoever comes to Dubai, it has this effect on people. They think they're going to come in for maybe a few months, maybe a year. My family came here 50 years ago for 5 years, right? So the point is, it's you speak to the lady in red, as they say in marketing, which means that you find the person that actually has the intention to get the work done. Culture is something you can work around because you're speaking to the person. We're all human at the end of the day, right? So that's what it's about, really, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. The pool of talent present in Dubai and the UAE right now is very impressive. It's not like 10, 15 years ago where I had to fly in people from the States. I don't know, literally you have the talent on site. They're doing an amazing job.
Okay, I think the one thing that we all have in common is the intention and the vision to succeed.
Yes.
And that's what, connects anyone over here. So that's part of this. Actually, going to be easy to hire everyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
When it comes to infrastructure in technology, so you are, let's say, building a massive festival, what challenges do you encounter that are unique to here versus, for example, your others?
I mean, the answer is very easy. Dubai was not prepared for a mega festival, and we needed to, take it from scratch, from zero. So last year when we had Untold in Expo, okay, we have Expo, but we needed to bring 5 mega stages to build the stages within the Expo and to be careful to respect the local communities and everything. So yeah, it was a big challenge for us. But as I mentioned at the previous question, with the support of the local authorities, with the support of our strategic partners that we had over here in place, we delivered a very great festival. And this year, as I mentioned, we are moving to a new location in Dubai Parks and Resort, which is a great location. We are looking to have around 300,000 people in 4 days, with around 80,000 unique visitors per day. We will have 5 stages, so yeah, it's very important to have those strategic partnerships that are delivering what we secured in our talks, in our negotiations, in our contract, because they were not used to have a big festival. So we needed to pay a very big attention to the schedule and to the timeline, to respect the timeline. It's very important to respect the time.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now I would like to talk a little bit about the future in the out years. So where are we going? My question for you, Hamid, where do you see, let's say, emerging trends in the Middle East, but also in Europe? And what are, let's say, untapped opportunities?
Well, that's a tough one, but I'll give it a shot. Okay. Because who really knows the future, but what we can see is obviously a lot of reliance on festivals. Because even when I did the Rise Wellness Festival, I realized that people generally get bored at exhibitions. So they want to do more than just business. They want to actually meet, they want to get to know each other, they want to connect on a deeper level. And I think when you give them an experience, and we thrive towards that experience and we head towards that, it's definitely going to be a bit more holistic in the way we approach events moving forward. There's going to be heavy reliance on AI, and I feel like that's something that we need to be a little careful about, because as humans we tend to be codependent and use things as a crutch a lot more than using it as a tool. So we should basically not make everything automated, rather make it more human, because the future is ancient, as they say. So we're going to go back to the cycle of becoming a bit more connected with each other from different paths, and I think that's what it's about. So it's going to be a good blend of human with technology, and a lot more human. And I think that's what I see people going towards, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shall I speak or should I talk?
Well, it's good with me. Okay. Now, for future of the festival conferences, this one is going to you. So if somebody is considering market entry, when should he or this company take basically part in the conference, and what should they basically prepare to maximize their attendance?
Another tough question, right? Oh, the also tough.
I can't only give you easy ones. Come on.
I think, well, when we talk about, let's say, festivals, companies, whatever it is from Europe that want to enter the Middle Eastern market, I think the first thing you have to do is understand the region, the country, the culture, the behavior, the mindset of, well, wherever you want to go, whatever that region, that country is. And I think that's a mistake I see very frequently in the last years, how that the Middle East is becoming a very attractive place to invest, to open a company, whatever. People think it's a lot easier than it is. And you have to respect the local culture. You cannot be successful in a market where you only understand business but not things. I think this is extremely important. That's something that I've learned not when I started working here in Dubai, because I started working for a company that was established 6 or 3 years ago, but when I helped establishing the company in Riyadh. I was pretty bright. I thought we could go there, have the same processes, and then just hit the play button and then off you go. And it didn't happen, to be honest, because you need to give a new region, a new branch, a new, whatever it is, new company, a lot of time, and you need to first and foremost fully understand your environment. And I think especially the UAE these days, it's a market that, I mean, nowhere on the world probably is the chance of being successful and growing fast so big than UAE currently, or in the Middle East in general. But on the other hand, something that's also true is that the market is quite separated already. So it would be a lie to say it's not a very challenging market, it's not a very competitive market. That is something that needs to be really taken into consideration as well. So everyone who is coming from abroad and wants to start whatever it is here needs to spend time here, needs to network. We've said that I think it's easy to network here, to get to know people, but to build a deeper connection is a lot trickier than a lot of people think. That this is what you really need.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I've seen a lot of companies, they take, let's say, a campaign for something they've run in New York, and they try to copy and paste and put it here. Doesn't work and doesn't look good. So you really have to do your homework, get immersed in the culture, and build your story around. So, totally.
It's like about you.
Not a copy and not a copy paste.
Another computers. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability, especially for like big festivals, building long-term relationships rather than, let's say, just a transactional one-time off partnership. How do you do that? How do you build these relationships in the long run?
Through communication, through transparent communication, like when we are sitting at a table with a local partner, because that's our, so we have the core, our core and the core, like the core from Europe, but we are aiming to have as much as we can get local partners, strategic partners over here. So I think through transparent communication and I know we want that, we can get that or we can not get that. Like to be transparent from the very first beginning and to have the similar vision. I think it's very important for our partners to understand the storytelling of Antroll Festival, because it's not only about the music. It's not only about that we have an artist on a stage. It's a 4 days, like we want to mention, it's a 4 days escape from reality. So I think it's very important for us to have partners that understand our vision and that, okay, we understand as well their vision in terms of like business. So I think transparency and the vision to share the same vision are two very important aspects in terms to have sustainable partnerships, strategic partnerships.
Perfect, thank you so much. I'm very aware of time. That's maybe the German side of me that looks at the clock all the time to be right on time. So would almost enter into the last phase of our panel discussion for, let's say, newcomers when they come here from Europe, or if they go from the Middle East to Europe. What advice would you give them if they want to organize a festival or even to become service provider? What would be your first piece of advice for them? You first, because you take over the longest, and we pass it.
My point of view, do your homework.
Yeah.
Do your homework, understand the market, understand your project, what you want to do with your project. When you have your project in place, go and have meetings with the local authorities, local partners, and try to understand if your product is good for that market, if fits with that market, with the culture, with the environment, with everything. Like I mentioned, do not copy paste, co-create, I think. So even if you are from Middle East and you want to go to Europe, if you are from Europe and you want to go to Middle East, I think in the background you have to do your homework and to speak with the proper people in terms of like delivering the project successful.
Yeah.
So I think a trend that I see currently, but maybe I want to see it, but I think I see it, is that we go back to more honest entertainment in a way. I mean, my business side says it's amazing if you set up 5,000 square meters, great. But I think what we all really need is honest entertainment, like something that is really deep in a way. We had a chat earlier. I mean, Vinyl Souk is here. That's a UAE grown project, a UAE grown festival, and I think that is exactly what the city needs. Or something honest, something that is really deep, and something that not everyone understands, but that is really niche in a way. And I see more and more of these concepts that really seem to work pretty well, and that's refreshing for me.
Yeah, that one is a very cool one. And I agree.
My business side says everyone needs shitloads of LED screens in 1950.
Thank you. Perfect, nice. I just want to add a few because we've covered quite a bit. I think when we do anything in a new place, we design with, not for. And that's part of the whole market, not market invasion, market collaboration, that we get to learn from each other. You want to be part of their cultural story. You're not just there for a one-off, right? You want to build together. Yeah. So it's prioritizing with presence and building authentic connections, as they said. Because we all have our own story, but then how do we build it together as part of a much bigger story to make something bigger? And I think it's pretty evident that music and love knows no bounds. So you can connect with music, you can connect with compassion and passion for doing things together. And I think that what really helps. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We've covered pretty much all of it. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. So the last one I will straight away ask Bruce, if you have the mic in your hand. So Middle East European Festival Exchange, outlook for the next 5 years. What are you, let's say, the most excited about?
I think the world is becoming a much smaller place as time progresses, and we're starting to realize that we connect more than our culture, more on an energetic level. So I think that that's going to become more and more relevant, what we speak. Because when we speak, we're not just speaking to everybody, we're speaking to one particular type of person, and they're going to get to hear the message regardless. So I think that that's going to get even more and more closer. Cultural norms are going to get eradicated eventually, because we're getting more one. Yeah. So that's something that I think that is definitely the future. And I'm really excited because I love all types of things European, right? My parents said that you were born in the wrong house. I've loved pasta my whole life. So I think the world we're so much more similar than different from each other. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Where we connect, like I said, going back to soul level rather than, oh, I'm from this place or that place. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
It's a very good answer. I really like it. Thank you.
And I think there's a lot happening in the Middle East already, and that's good for all of us because that forces creative minds to come up with new, exciting concepts, experiences, whatever. That is something that's exciting for all of us because new things are being created every day, and we all, obviously a bit of a disease nowadays, but we all get bored so quick that we all also want to be entertained and we want to see new things, we want to experience new things. So yes, I think very, very cool things will have to be created because nowadays everyone is trying to stand out somehow. Yeah. A cooler concept, a cooler vision, a different approach, whatever it is. So that's my take.
Very good. Last but not least.
I have 2 minutes. In my opinion, I think Middle East will be a hub in terms of entertainment. It will be an international hub in terms of entertainment in 2 or 3 years because it's very well positioned. It's in the middle between Asia, Europe, Africa. So it will be a hub in terms of entertainment, and everyone will be connected to Middle East market in terms of events and big music festival, big corporate events and so on. So
Yeah, you are literally spot in the middle. Logistically, infrastructure is there, so you have everything you need to succeed.
and to have the support of the local authorities over here, they are investing a lot in this field. Yeah.
Perfect. So, literally looking at the timer, it says 50 seconds. So we are more than on time. But happy to take any questions from the audience.
With more European festivals entering to the Middle East, how do you usually approach local staffing or on-ground support? And what do you look for when choosing reliable partners to work with?
Sorry. You're looking at me, so I assume that's for me, right?
No, it was a general question.
I'm gonna take that. I think, look, when it comes to staffing projects in general, I think it's quite normal for every AV company, every turnkey supplier as we are, to do as much as possible in-house, and then you've got your well-known, trusted freelancers and suppliers. What was the second question? Sorry, there was a second question, right?
Yeah, like how do you choose reliable? Like how do you choose
Reliable partners.
partners? Yeah.
I mean, you said the keyword there, that is reliable. So at the end of the day, you try to deliver as much as you can in-house, but we all need partnerships to grow somehow. It would be a lie to say we don't need partnerships. So at the end, what you need is trust. Like for me, I like to, at the end of the day, it's a business. We all have to earn money, but I like to operate on a very personal level. I like to engage with people, and I also like to understand people really. I build trust with people and with companies we work with. Now, trust doesn't come overnight, but it's something that we've built with a lot of partners over the last 10, 15 odd years, I think.
Okay, as we're gonna stop it, it is at sea, stopping at sea, so you take your relevant card back and we can work together and we can build the trust, you can give it a chance and build the trust,
If you want to build an agency, then I could be your supplier.
I have an agency, but I want a client who can give me a project and I will provide stuff, and we have done it.
Someone is trying to get a microphone.
And you can bring us partners if you want, if you're an agency.
Okay. Do you have any other questions from you?
One question to Dor. The experience you aim for in Untold Romania and Untold Dubai, like how does it differ, or is it the same, or like how do you approach this, the experience for the visitor side?
So at the core, when we came with Untold over here, we wanted to bring the storytelling. So yeah, let's say like this, back in Romania we have the Dracula, you all know, like the Dracula, Transylvania and so on. And Untold Festival is based on the storytelling. Each edition has a unique chapter in the storytelling. And we wanted to bring that in Dubai, but it's like where the magic meets the future, because Dubai is the city of the future. So because we keep the core of the DNA of Untold from Romania, but we are trying to build over here we are trying to develop user experiences for the festival goers that are appropriate for this culture, that are appropriate for this kind of engagement. And actually we did a very cool thing. we paid a lot of attention of the daytime activities, because you have a lot of tourists over here with their families, with their children. And during the day we promoted a lot, even in Dubai Park and Resort. You have everything in Dubai Park and Resort to go with your children, with your family. So during the day, you are with your family, with the children over there. You can go inside the festival, try brand activations from our partners. And then during the night, the parents are staying, the children are leaving, but the parents are staying until 5 a.m. in the morning, because in Anatol, Romania as well, it's until 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. So I know that over here it's until 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. everything is closed. So we try to bring that. And based on the daytime activities that we did over here, and we saw that it's a success, we did that in Romania, and it's crazy. The result is crazy. During the day, you have all our partners are very happy because their brands are engaging with the festival goers. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, another question with that.
So my name is Menuda, and we have this exhibition right there. It's vintage cars turning into stories. I have a question regarding festivals. What are the different types of business models that you explore in running festivals? Because I know sponsorship is highly the most known model, but is there some other creative ways to put up a festival, and the business model could be other than sponsorship?
The question is for me?
I mean, I think both of you can answer the festival, Tudor and I think Amitabh.
So yeah, it's about the partnerships. A lot is based on the partnerships, but it's not only the partnerships. We have our F&B partners as well. We have the ticketing. We sell tickets because if we don't have people in the festival, you can have you can have an automotive brand inside the festival, but will not have the results that they expected. But there are different types of partnership that we are doing. We are doing a lot of barters as well. If we are deducting our costs in terms of production, staging, safety, security. Let's take it for example, automotive industry. We need for the artists 50 cars for 6 days to be at our disposal with drivers. So we are aiming to discuss with our potential partners to do a barter, and they will have the benefit of brand awareness inside the festival, and they will be associated also with the artists. They drove the artists, like Post Malone, Imagine Dragons, and so on and so on. And we are deducting our costs, and we are not paying for the cars. We do that with furniture. We need furniture for the artist lounge, for the VIP, for the business lounge, for the VIP platform. And we are trying to have as well barters. So are different types of business models that we are aiming for. Also, I mentioned ticketing. We want to have ticketing platforms that are our partners, and they are promoting our tickets. We did that last year with Emirates. They have a huge platform for their cabin crew, everything, and we sold tickets to their platform. So similar types of businesses that we can do.
I was scared you were going to say everything. Go ahead. Personally, I think when you do anything as such as an event, you can build an ecosystem around it. And I think one of the most important things is when you're hosting any event, when you create merchandise, that definitely adds a lot of revenue, because when people come to your event, which is a festival, they're already connected, right? They're already energetically there. They want to be part of the whole story. And people love things, whenever it's branded to something they like to do. So I think merchandise is definitely one. A second thing, as I mentioned, ecosystems and strategic partnerships. So for example, when you partner with a travel agency, when you partner with hotels, when you partner with say for example, booking.com, Agora, whatever. You can get some sort of, I don't know, use the word kickback, what was the word you use? Basically a percentage of the sales that they make through you. So you give them a code and they get a discount, so it's a win-win. So we are basically all earning, but at the same time having a good time. I think that's two of the main things that's.
Thank you so much. I think I've picked up 4 ideas here, which is, I think, barter and reduce your cost. And you mentioned about merchandise, and there is travel, and then booking system, ticketing as well. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your question. Well, no other questions, and I thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much.